Boston and other big cities can be difficult to navigate, even more so if you're a person who needs assistance with mobility. So enter the Ahoy app and its founder, Jake Handel, who is helping to open new doors for people with disabilities. For Jake Handel, navigating the north end of Boston on his electric scooter gives Mind the Gap an entirely different meaning.
Vroom, vroom. Oh, ow. Boom, made it.
Even when in the company of his friend and business partner, Justin Robinson.
If I was in a manual chair, I wouldn't get up it.
Jake's arrival at his destination introduces another universe of unknowns, ranging from entrance access.
As you can see, the main entrance has a 3-inch step.
To whether or not he can use the bathroom.
How's this airport bathroom for you?
Horrendous.
Not great?
Doors wide open.
Ahoy app.
But now there's an app for that. Jake's own concept, born after losing his ability to walk from a rare brain disease that had doctors predicting he had 5 months to live. But let's start at the beginning.
Always wanted to be a chef. My mom was a caterer. My dad owned a bakery in Cambridge and quickly got into chef life and became a head chef.
He had his dream job, but things changed when his mother lost a long battle with cancer. Jake turned to alcohol and drugs, and a toxin he ingested had devastating consequences.
I was diagnosed with this super rare brain disease, terminal progressive, and they told me month by month I would lose function.
Jake deteriorated quickly and fell into a coma-like state, lucid but unable to move or communicate for 9 months.
I call it the best self-therapeutic retreat possible. I use this 3 months period of self-talk to properly grieve my mother and finally get peace with that, which I never did.
You've been through so much, and no one would blame you for just feeling down, but you've never been that way.
I just learned to be grateful for the little things. Every month or so, I'd regain some minute ability, whether it was to wiggle a finger. You know, I found joy in that.
Fast forward, and as Jake continues to grow stronger, he's returned in mobility devices to a world with challenges he never knew existed.
Can I roll in? How heavy is the door? Is there an elevator? Because a lot of times you roll into a restaurant, but then there's like 4 stairs to get up to the other dining room.
He had discovered a gap in mobility access and information, which he confided to his friend Justin.
He was kind of looking for new projects that were meaningful and would help the world. Knowing tech, he's like, technology could really solve for this.
They put their heads together, recruited a team, and within a year launched the Ahoy app.
Part of what I'm trying to do is motivate folks to get back out there. So you make a profile, you know, it could be like, I need roll-in, I want a ramp, I need a handrail if there are stairs. So the app works like Waze, right? So people report kind of what they see. It's great knowing what's there. It's even better knowing if what's there is actually functional. So the idea of the app is accessibility for your individual needs.
We hit the streets to try it out.
This is the map view, and what's loading right now is pins.
Each pin represents a location that has been reviewed by a user with information and photos that allow a person to judge if it's a fit for their comfort and mobility. Many users find more accessible options than they thought. Remember this 3-inch step?
So you'd immediately be like, okay, there's a step up, but on the app there's tons of information about like the back side entrances, etc., to get into places. Especially like in the North End and places that are older in Boston, these back entrances are very common.
Jake's app bridging a gap and helping people of all abilities live fuller lives.
Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Ahoy! And so again, Ahoy relies on user reviews for their database, and Jake encourages everyone with or without mobility issues to join to help them expand that database. In future app updates, the team hopes to include other points of access for people with language and sensory restrictions. Still ahead, adventures in shellfishing.